Welcome to the broadcast for today's game between the visiting Quad City Blues and the Dubuque Saints. Looks like we'll have two referees for today's game. Quad City was victorious in the varsity game last night, winning 7-4. Goaltending matching will be the same as last night. Blues will roll out Starrett, while the Saints send Jack Leverton out. Saints look like they'll go with a two-man coaching bench today. Puck is down. Blues will send it back to the defense. They'll go D to D, force it up the far side boards. Into Leverton, who'll make the save. Puck's down, Saints have it. Blues steal, walk around the back of the net. They'll control it on the near boards. Lost for a second there. Benny Meyer clears it out. Out to center ice. Jacob Noonan forces the play there. Forces it down deep. Lucas Peters collects and fires it out. Cross ice pass by Peters. Schilling presses and forces the puck loose. Kicks back out to center ice. Sagers will dump it down deep. Quad City will go D to D. Back behind the net to Peters. Peters plays it out to his D partner. Stolen there by Sweeney. Sweeney cross ice feed to White. Misses the net. Blues attempt to clear the zone. Can't. White holds it in there. Sweeney fires it towards the net. Blues carry it down. Right to the slot. Fired just wide of the net. Sweeney's got it there. He'll look to headman it to White. White controls it. Forces it along the far boards. Presses the issue down behind the net. Quad City feeds it across the ice. Again down low. No tip there, so no ice. Pressed on behind the net. Quad City can't quite hold it in. That's Carter Kirkenbush giving them a run for their money. Puck played to the near boards. Kirkenbush has it there. Dumps it down low to Sieverding. Sieverding out to Schilling. Schilling towards the net. Redeflected in front by Meserich. Quad Cities will play it high off the boards. Sagers gets a piece of it. Can't quite hold it in, though. They'll force it back in. That's Schilling on the far side. Knocking it deep. Quad Cities collects it behind the net. Wraps it around. They're on the far side. Tries to chip it off. Dumped in. Saved by Sterrett. Tried to kick off the boards. Battle for in front of the net. Or in front of the bench. And we'll get a whistle. Looks like Quad Cities had an injured player. I'm not sure whether it was on the ice or it was just that much of an emergency that they get him off the ice. In the end, it's just a game. We're always concerned about player safety. Noonan with the face-off. Back to Cruiser. Cruiser loses it there. Beckworth has it. Beckwith. He'll force it down to the corner. Stolen kick towards Leverton. Out to the D. Fired down low. It's Bo Baker in the corner. He'll try and collect it. Battled there. Still fires it down the ice to Beshin. Noonan plays it deep. That'll be an ice. That'll be an ice. Saints will send out Ruiz, Sweeney, and White, it looks like. Blues win the faceoff. Shot just wide of the net. Held in by the Blues D temporarily. Puck gets lost somewhere. No one's exactly sure where. Probably stuck in White's body is what we're looking for. White says, nope, don't have it. Let's just grab this one. Deep in the zone, says linesman Blondin. Conrad to take the face off against Ruiz. Conrad wins it back to the D. Chips it over an attacking Sweeney. Fired towards the net. Tried to hammer out of the zone. Ooh. Walked in front. Fired just wide. That's going to be nice. So we'll come back and have a face-off to the right of Leverton. Face-off one back behind the Dubuque net. Cam O'Donnell whiffs on a pass there. Comes in front. Shot in the goal. 97, that's Conrad, their center and captain. Left alone in the slot, buried it past Leverton. Just realized I don't have my clock person here, so we'll get that going for you. 13:28 of the first period. Blues will dump it down deep. Beshin will go back to collect it. Kerfoot will push back to help him out. Beshin will fire it up to Sieverding. Seaberding carries into the zone, tries to connect to Meserich. Knocked down. Battle on the blue line. Seaberding will get it on net. Starrett will make the save there. 13:04 left in the first period. Puck played to the corner. Off the boards. Cruiser tries to hold it in. Cannot. Gets wide. Quad Cities to come down 3-on-2. Thrown into Leverton. I know Jack, he won't like that. Guessing we'll see more on that story later. Seaberding carries it down. We got a 2-on-1. Seaberding and Kirkenbush fired over. Got caught in Kirk's skates. Blues will counter. Held into the zone by Benny Meyer. Managed 5-on-1. The rest of the team changes. Does the hard work. Works in front. Gets 2 shots. And is absolutely buried directly in front of the referee, who apparently thought the puck was still there and it wasn't an interference call. Meyer behind the net. Tries to feed it out to Schilling. Tipped. Puck eventually back to Schilling. Schilling shorts it towards the net. Starrett with a tiptoe glove save. Yeah, Benny Meyer was literally tackled behind the blue line or the goal line, directly in front of the ref. No call. Noonan loses the faceoff. Varsity takes it behind the net. Tries to play it up to the far side. Gets by everyone and squirts out to center ice. Schilling cross ice pass there to Baker. Baker gets it in the zone. Saints will try and give a little chase. Noonan presses the issue. Round to the near boards. It's tried to center there by Stagers. Off to the far side now. Things get a little chippy. Quad City carries it out to neutral ice. Into the attacking zone. Squeaker rolls towards Leverton, who makes the save. Saints will counter with the Ruiz Sweeney White line. O'Donnell and Sukichov back on D. Face off back to the Quad City defense, who whiffs on the shot. Sweeney knocks it out of the zone. They'll apply the pressure. Get to Conrad in the middle. He's the goal scorer this first period. Dumped down deep below the net. Suk goes back to get it. Plays it up to White, who can't clear it. O'Donnell dodges around his man, gets it up to White. White into the zone, tries a toe drag, loses possession. Puck held in at the blue line by Ruiz. Over to Lucas Peters. Peters plays it up. Dumped deep into the zone. O'Donnell will go back to collect it. Loses it there. Plays it around. Out to Peters. Peters over to DeYoung. Locked in front by Tyler White. DeYoung controls it in front of his bench. Plays it over to Peters. Peters has got it on the far side. Plays it up. Stolen at center ice by Blake Seaberding. He'll carry it in. Drop pass to Sweeney. Sweeney with a backhander. Starrett with the save. Puck down, won by the Quad Cities. Back in the corner. They'll play it high off the glass. Schilling's able to hold it in there. Kirk with the shot, deflected, battled in front of the net. That's Meserich behind the net, wraps it around, back to Kirk. Kirk walks off the boards into the slot, gets it to Stagers. Stagers gets it on net, deflected in front. Meserich with the wraparound. Everyone's looking. Got no signal, no goal. Puck is just outside the goal line there. You can see Sterrett completely in the net, and the puck is just partially on the goal line. It didn't even look like the goaltender cheat slide there. So Mesrich with a nice wraparound attempt. Sterrett got just enough. Takes his helmet off to pose for a couple pictures. Fixes his hair. The refs are going to come over and talk to the coaches. There's no way that was in. We looked as close as we could. Coach Button says, my guys say it's in. Yeah, we'd expect nothing less of them. All right, this is a great conversation, boys, but there's hockey to play. Noonan in for the faceoff. They'll win it back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell gets a shot on net. Rebound, Suk gets a shot on net, just wide. Back to O'Donnell again. Fires on the net, saved by Sagers. I think you saw that, or I'm sorry, that's, I've lost his name now. Sterrett. Blues coming back. A little 2-on-1 action. O'Donnell holds him up there. Dipped around there. Conrad kicks it out in front. Battled in front. O'Donnell walks out with it. Stolen there. I believe the puck or the net is off. He was standing right on it. Instead of putting it back on, you decided to blow the whistle, and now we'll get a change. .907 left in the period. Ruiz wins it back. Tyler White. No goal. High off the crossbar into the back of the net. The netting behind the net, I'm sorry. So Newhouse there with a little seeing eye dog shot that just cost the post. Face up down. Controlled by the Saints. It's played up. Quad City controls at center ice. They'll counter. 3-on-3. Quad City shot. Deflected wide. Handled by Ruiz. Ruiz will play it up to Sweeney. Sweeney clears it wide. We've got White in the middle. Sweeney winds up for a shot. Saved. Kicked in front of the net. Blues carry it down. Run on in front. Down below the goal line. Played around the back of the net by Ruiz. Ruiz played it to Sweeney, who got just a piece of it. That'll nullify the icing. Blues will counter. Long cross ice pass. That's just a piece of it outside their zone, so no icing the other way. Kirkenbush wheels. Finds the center of the ice in some open room. He'll take it up the far side. Walks around the defender there. Fires it in front. Mesrich with the save. Or Mesrich with the shot. Start with the save. Quad City walks out of the trouble. Plays it down the far side. And it'll go for an ice. Sieverding in for the faceoff. He'll win it, force it towards the net. Quad City recovers. They'll play it off the sideboards. Suk tries to get a shot on net. It's tipped there. Swung and a miss by Quad Cities, but they'll carry it out. Look for the cross ice pass. Knocked down at center ice. Lost control. Cleared it back out to the neutral zone. Quad Cities regains control. Tries to get it in. It's tipped just wide. Force deep, and Suk will go back to collect it. Run over a bit there. Elbow. Elbow is the call that we're going to get. Suk says, see you later. So Quad Cities penalty will mean the face-off is to the right of Sterrett. Noonan wins the face-off over to Kirkenbush. Kirkenbush up to White. White back to Kirkenbush. Kirkenbush walks to the top of the circle. Shot. Saved. Noonan gets the recovery. Shots on net. That's saved as well. Kirkenbush works at the corner. Looks for the open man. He'll get it up to White. White walks it to the center. Over to Baker. Baker across. Tipped by the Quad Cities. And it'll come out. White will come back and collect it. Regroup in the defensive zone. Fires it up to the Quad Cities D, who gladly give that back to him. White collects again. Walks around the first forechecker. Gives it to Baker. Baker gives it back to Sweeney, who can't get a handle on it. Puck goes the length. Played high off the boards. And White will go back again. Leverton back to giving him encouraging thoughts. Go, Tyler, go. White carries it up the middle. Long pass to Kirkenbush. Kirkenbush into the zone. Leaves it for Baker. Baker down low to Kirkenbush. Kirkenbush battles for it behind the net. Peters around. Back to Baker. Baker does a 360. Finds Kirk on the far side. Kirk shot. Tipped just wide. Out to Schilling now. Schilling to Sweeney. Sweeney to Kirk's skate. Can't control. Played up. We're going to go the distance here. Little 1-on-2. Quad Cities tries to play it out in front. No one's home. Schilling with the steal. He'll get it over to Baker. Baker up to Ruiz. Ruiz gets rubbed off into the boards. Played down below the net. Sieverding steals it there. Fires out in front. Sammy Ruiz collects the loose puck and buries it past Steer. So power play goal by Sammy Ruiz. Sieverding and Schilling picking up assists on that goal. Meserich plays it back. That's a high stick, but Quad Cities play it, so the stick is nullified. Quad Cities carrying it down near boards. Battle for in front of the board or in front of the benches. Ruiz trips it deep. Sterrett's got the save, and we'll go for a face-off. Noonan gets the face-off back to Schilling. Schilling shoots it 5 feet over the net. Back to Schilling, back at the point. Fires it on net, this time lower. Lacrosse move by Benny Meyer. Tries to hit it towards the net. Wrapped around the back of the net by Quad Cities. Schilling's there. He'll walk it a little bit. Finds Meyer on the far side. Sterrett with the save. Referee lost sight of the puck, so he'll blow the whistle. 1-1 game here with 4 minutes and 22 seconds left in the first period. Saints drastically outshooting Blues 13-4. Conrad will take on Ruiz here for the faceoff. Quad City wins it. Clears it out to O'Donnell, neutral ice. Quad City with it back. Possessed in the defensive zone, circling around the back of the net. Tries a toe drag, but Sammy Ruiz has been a pest in front of the net. Steals the puck. Knocks it down to Sweeney. Oh. Clear it out to the defensive zone. That's Nico Sukachov. Sukachov leaves it for Ruiz. Saved by Leverton on the quick shot there. Conrad gets out in front. Leverton's there to eat it. We'll get Kirkenbush, Sieverding, and Messerich. Puck played down below the goal line. Sieverding will carry it out. Look for a cross-ice pass. It's tipped there. Quad City recovers. Forces it up the boards in front of the bench. Sieverding's got it. Tries to play it through. It's tipped back into the Saints defensive zone. Cruiser tries to clear it out. Battled in front of the bench. Quad Cities maintains control. Stolen, shot wide. Peters gave it a run there and couldn't quite hold on. Now it's Sieverding through the center ice. He'll walk into two Quad Cities defenders, leaves it for Messerich. Messerich has got it there. Big hit on Messerich. Chipped up, Sterrett's going to play it and eat it. Noonan in for the faceoff. Wins it back to Stegers. Stegers' shot is blocked and it's knocked out. Played up. Battled at neutral ice. That's Bo Baker. Baker carries it into the zone. Leaves it for Noonan. Noonan over to Meyer. Loose puck in the slot. Baker's got it. He leaves it down for Benny Meyer. Played out to Schilling at the point. Quad Cities clears. Back to the defensive zone. Play the length of the ice. Blondin says no icing. Quad Cities will collect behind the net. Played into the Zamboni doors. Popped up in the middle. Quad Cities got a little attack going here. Gets past Stegers into the corner. Kicked out in front of the net. It's Bo Baker there with the steal. Tries to play it up the boards. It's knocked back in by the Quad Cities. Run on in the corners. Quad City with the shot. Tipped wide and high. Quad City again. Fires it into his own man. Bo Baker clearing attempt up to Noonan. Puck stolen there. Peters works it deep. Schilling goes back to collect it. Plays it up to Baker. Baker doesn't have options there. He cycles it back to Stegers. Lost there. Conrad steals it. Wheels at the blue line. Fans on a shooting attempt. Quad Cities controls. Bo Baker now. Fires it up the middle. Quad Cities with the puck. To Lucas Peters. A little D to D. Peters has got it now in the corner. He'll leave it for Conrad. Conrad backhand tosses it up to the middle. Little collision there. Quad City through the middle. Shot on net. Saved by Leverton. And he'll eat it. And the clock wasn't running that whole time. 28 seconds left in the first period. Puck down, Saints have it. Down on wheels in the corner. Can't quite get it out. Suk battles for it behind the net. Walks to the corner, pops straight up. Yeah, Sukuchov is going to get probably a roughing, possibly a cross check. Shot to the far side. That's Peters at the far blue line. Plays it in down low. Conrad's got it below the goal. Tries to play it around. Doesn't get enough of it. White will play it as the buzzer sounds. Looks like Sukuchov's going to get a rough on that. So Quad Cities will start the second period on a 2-minute power play. So we'll drop the puck here in the second period. Saints on the penalty kill. Calling Sukachev there at the end of the first period. Quad City will start from behind the net. They'll break it out. Conrad up the middle. Pass to the far side. Dump down deep. Played down in the corner. Kicked out. Will Baker will send it the length of the ice. Starrett's back there. He'll play it. Leave it for his defenseman. Played up the middle. To the far side wall. Schilling's there. Noonan helps him out. Schilling's got it in the corner. He battles his man. Quad City sets up the power play. Can't quite handle it there. Trickles out. They'll come back to neutralize to reset. Schilling puts his man into the boards on the far side. Walks to the middle. Puck comes loose. Fired. Shot on net. Saved by Leverton. And he'll hold on. Puck's down. Quad Cities has it. Back to the blue. Fired high into the net. They'll go out of play, and we'll get a face-off to the left of Leverton. Battled down behind the goal line with Schilling. They will squirt out in front. White will clear it down the length of the ice on Starrett. Starrett makes the save. Kicks it out to the slot where it's collected. Move back behind the net. Cross ice pass. Blues lose it momentarily. Kirkenbush shoves his man into the boards. Conrad takes it across the blue line. It's played back out. Saints to collect. Kirkenbush coming with some speed. Got an angle on the net. Shot. Score! Kirkenbush with a nice hustle play. Came down in front of the player's bench. Beat his man. Had a terrible angle on the net. Didn't matter. Puck down, and it'll go back to the Quad Cities defensive zone. Sieverding on the far wall. Cross ice pass to Nico Ruiz. Ruiz leaves it for O'Donnell. O'Donnell up to Mesrich. Schilling picks up an assist on that Kirkenbush goal. It was definitely a big one-man effort. Schilling fired it down the length of the boards. Quad Cities now trying to hold it in, and they do. I don't think so. Mesrich has got it. Ruiz had the breakaway, but fell down. Peters there battling Sieverding. Sieverding over to O'Donnell. O'Donnell fires into the skates of Sukochov. Quad Cities has it now. They'll walk down below the goal line, try and center it. Leverton's got it covered there. Puck down. Quad Cities will battle for it below the goal line in the corner. Cruiser loses the handle quickly and it's sandwiched. Quad Cities battles, fires from the slot, saved by Leverton. Ruiz up to Sweeney. Sweeney carries it through the neutral zone on the far side, dumps it down. Hammered, clearly interference, to me at least. Quad Cities plays it out. It should be an icing if it goes the distance, which it won't. Cruiser's back there to collect it. Behind the net, loses his man. He'll pick his head up. Plays it up the far side. That's White. White carries into the zone, leaves it for Sweeney, who wasn't ready for it. Played down low. That's White below the goal line. White up to Schilling. Schilling across over to Sweeney. Up. Quad Cities gets a piece of it. Newhouse carries it in the near zones, fires it across the face of the net, untouched. That's White. Carries it through the neutral zone with some speed, takes it wide. Bad angle on net, shoots just wide of the net. Baker collects it, gets it down to White, fires it in front of the net again, untouched. Noonan battles for it in the corner. Baker steps over to help him out. Battle for on the far boards. Quad Cities collects it, fires it out to Schilling at the point. Stolen and knocked the length of the ice by the Quad Cities for an ice. Noonan battles for the faceoff and loses it. Quad Cities plays it high off the boards. It's Beshin there to collect it at the blue line. He'll dump it down deep. Played around the far boards. Noonan back to collect it. He'll get it over to Beshin. Beshin fumbles it for a second, clears it to neutral ice. Quad Cities steal it. They'll regroup. Gives it to Cruiser. Cruiser walks into the zone. Not able to control it. Beshin fires it up. Baker. Baker centers to no one. Cruiser gets a piece of it on the far side, dumps it down deep. Quad Cities are collected behind the net. Sieverding plays it hard off the boards to Baker. Baker walks it behind the net into the far corner with Cruiser. Cruiser's got it now in his skates. Battles for it. Still loose. Baker dumps it down deep, and it's Meserich who will give chase. Meserich back to the corner. Played to the far side. It's Kirk there. Kirk back to Meserich. Meserich tries to send it in front. Kicks out. Blues will carry it out of the zone. Up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell tries to play it ahead. O'Donnell way offsides by Kirkenbush. Puck down. Battle neutral ice. No one's really got control. Squirts out to Kirkenbush. He'll drop it off to O'Donnell. O'Donnell tries to bring it up. Conrad knocks it deep. Sukachev will go back there to pick it up. Battle for in the corner. And it's Cal Meserich. Meserich carries it up. Tripped at the blue line, and that'll draw a call. And then there'll be a little bit of a wrestling match. Kirkenbush is separated. Saints are going to power play. Number 88, that's Alex Bunk. He'll get 2 minutes for tripping.
Quad City penalty. 10:21 in the second period, and number 88, Alex Blunt, 2 minutes for tripping, which puts the Butte back on the power play.
Quad Cities clears the length of the ice. Leverton will go back, collect it behind the net. He'll leave it for White. White will pick it up there. Take off for the far side. Bumps it ahead to Sweeney. Sweeney into the zone. Takes it wide. He's met there by the defense. Conrad works at the boards. That's Noonan. Conrad gets the clear. Leverton again. Tees it up for White. Saints will set up the power play. Benny Meyer carries it up in front of the benches. Stolen there, cleared back. White takes it. Center ice. Works across the blue line. Leaves it there. Benny Meyer steps in. Centers it. Stolen there and cleared down the length of the ice. Leverton with the save. Leaves it wide. Bo Baker will collect it there. He's pressured. That's Schilling. Up to Meyer. Back to Schilling. Schilling carries it into the zone. Shot on net. Save. Left in front. Rebound. Sammy Ruiz puts it into Sterrett's pads. 37 seconds left on the Saints penalty. The Saints power play. Puck's down. Out to Schilling at the point. He'll dump it in, and the Blues will clear it out. A little pressure down there. Schilling's got it again. Tries to break it out. Runs into the back of a Quad City player. Quad City's will force the play down below the goal line. Played out by Schilling. Off to Meyer. Meyer fires it wide. Saved by Sterrett. Sterrett signals that the power play is about to come to an end. Ruiz dumps it down deep, just wide of the net. It's played out. Mezrich will try and put it in. It's stolen there by Quad Cities. Stolen at center ice by Blake Sieberding. Carries it into the zone. Knocked loose on the far wall. They'll play it out. Sammy Ruiz tries to play it across. It's tipped there by the Quad Cities player. It's a race. Leverton gets a piece of it, knocks the puck wide. Bit of a struggle there. Nice save by Jack. Quad Cities walks out of the corners with it. Shot on goal. Saved by Leverton. Knocked wide. Tried for the shot. Blake Sieberding with the steal. Held in at the blue line by Quad Cities. They'll get it back on net. Leverton will cover. And that'll get us a face-off to the right of Leverton. Puck's down. Front of the net, saved by Leverton. Into the corner, worked around the back of the net. Sneaker Ruiz trying to break it out up the far side. Knocked in. Gets his pass across. It's tipped there, so it'll go the length. No icing. Bo Baker forces the issue down below the net. Tries to kick it out in front. No one there. Out to Cody Cruiser. Dumps it on net. Saved. Saved by Sterrett. No harm, no foul. $7:10 left in the second period. Puck's down. Quad Cities has it momentarily. Stolen and wrapped around the back of the boards by Sieberding. Sweeney's got it there. He'll try and send it around. Knocked out in front. Slow roller to the net. Sterrett made the save on White. Saints will get some fresh legs out on defense, it looks like. Cam O'Donnell joined by Nico Sukucherov. Ruiz with the win, walks it out in front. Saved by Starrett. Lost in the corner. Sukuchov throws one at the net, doesn't quite get a shot on. Quad Cities will try and break it out. That's Conrad up through the middle. Walks down the middle, shot just wide. It's a Dubuque player in the net. Puck's down and out of the Dubuque zone. Peter sends it over to his partner. Across the middle. This is going to be nice. Just on the other side of the red line, so we'll go the length here. Icing call on Quad Cities. Dubuque's had a little push here the last couple minutes. We'll see if they can capitalize on this Blues mistake. One back to Sukuchov. Sukuchov fires it into the forwards' shin guards. O'Donnell dumps it deep. Baker plays it around the boards. Play out to Meyer covering for the D. Quad Cities on the breakout. Can't quite connect. O'Donnell's got it. Plays it around his man. Out to the blue line. Lost there. Noonan will kick it down the ice. Lucas back to pick it up. Tries to play it up the near boards. Schilling holding it in. Battled there in front of the bench. O'Donnell knocks it down to Baker. Knocked out of the zone. Up to Conrad. He's on a breakaway here. Mesrich runs him down. Takes him out. And I got a feeling we're just going to get a trip. Just a trip on that. I'm guessing the Quad City coaches are going to want a breakaway. He seemed like he was in the clear. It was a heck of a play by Mesrich to run him down. A little discussion going on here by the refs. Everyone seems to agree it was just a 2-minute penalty, so we'll take it. Saints will go on the power play. Face off to the right of Leverton. One to the corner. I'm sorry, Saints are on the penalty kill. Conrad shot on net, deflected in front. Still loose, still loose. Leverton's on his back and lost his helmet. Severding will step in for the face-off. Quad Cities wins it. Controls in front of the Zam door. Schilling goes down hard. Still battled there. Quad Cities behind the net. Out to the D. Hard. Way too hard for that. Lost control. Severding gives chase. Quad City plays it up the blue line. Carter Kirkenbush down the far side again. Shot on net. Starrett knocks it wide. Controlled there. Quad Cities. Carter's still down there causing a little havoc. He's outmanned 2-1. Doesn't seem to care. Played wide to Quad Cities. They'll carry it through the neutral zone into the attacking zone. Behind the net. Out to the blue line. Newhouse there. Shot on net. Blocked by White. Conrad again blocked by White. Carter Kirkenbush with a little bit of a breakaway here. Shot just wide. Schilling collects it there on the far side. They'll play it. Sweeney will give chase. Raptor on the boards there. In front of the benches. Quinn's got it. He'll walk it wide, leave it for Conrad. Conrad shot just wide, deflected by White again. Battled in the corner by Schilling. Wraparound attempt, no good. White will walk it out. In front of the boards, or in front of the benches. Fancy little move there. He'll muck it down in the corner. Penalty is now over for Meserich. He got to the bench the exact same time the puck did. Fired on net by Decker. Big save by Leverton.
Is at full strength, saved by Leverton.
Face off down. Back to Quad Cities D. They'll work around Baker there. Dump it down deep. Donald's got it temporarily behind the net. Played out on the far side. Peters dumps it down. A little give and goal behind the goal line. Shot deflected in front. Back out to Peters. Peters goes D to D to shot on net. Blocked again. Cam O'Donnell with the block that time. Bo Baker will chase behind the net. Turn. Try and play it up the near boards. That's O'Donnell with it. Plays it out. Center ice. Stolen there. No icing. They're calling a tip there. Sukuchov plays it behind the boards to Baker. Baker gives it up in the middle. Right in the slot. O'Donnell kicks it loose. Someone's just getting massacred down there at Sukuchov. It's played on the near boards. Over to Sweeney in front of the net. Not controlled there. Peters will play it up. Quad Cities has got it. They're coming 2-on-2 here. Cruiser jumps back in to give them the good numbers. Nice save by Leverton there. So just under 2 minutes left. Somehow my scores got reset. 2-1 in favor of the Saints. Face off down. Feshion's got it behind the net. He'll play it over to Cruiser. Cruiser up to White. White will leave it for Ruiz, who smacks it the length of the ice, and it'll be an icing. Late change by the Saints. They'll swap out the D. Schilling and Staggers will come in. They've got Ruiz, White, and Sweeney in front of them. One back. Staggers takes it behind the net. Leaves it there. Schilling collects it. They'll break it out to White. White centers up to Sweeney. Couldn't control it. Gets knocked back. Schilling's got it. He'll play it up. Quad Cities with the steal. Back to Schilling. Still trying to play it forward. Quad Cities holds on the blue line. Conrad's got it. Played on the near boards. Ruiz up to Sweeney. Sweeney tries to jump a check. Can't quite do it. Ruiz plays it in deep. Starrett's got the save. He'll leave it behind the net. No ice. Sukuchov's got it there. Put it down. Quad Cities tries to clear it out. Sukuchov got it. Tries to walk in front of the net. He's taken down. No call. Behind the net. He'll try and look for someone out in front. Mesrich getting manhandled there. Quad Cities plays it up. We got a little one-on-one action. Cameron O'Donnell runs him down. They continue to walk. Saved by Leverton. Played up. Kirkenbush has got it. He'll kick it the length of the ice. A little confrontation there between Kirkenbush and Mesrich and one of the Quad City players. Played long. Gets around O'Donnell. No shot. Chapter 2. Saints are ahead.
Shots on goal, 21 apiece.
2-1. Get ready for the third period here. Noonan will take the face off. It's one back by Quad City. They'll play it back to their D into the neutral zone. Didn't start the clock. Start that now. Fix it later. D to D back in the Quad City zone. Tries to play it up. Apparently there was a touch there, so no ice. O'Donnell will battle for it in the corner. It's Noonan up to Meyer. Tries to find Baker across. Knocked back in by Quad Cities. Cam O'Donnell's going to get a elbow call. So early in the third period, Quad Cities will go on the power play on an elbowing call to Cam O'Donnell. Conrad steps in for the face-off against Sammy Ruiz. Quad Cities wins it back, but no one's there. Cody Sweeney will carry it out of the zone. Throws it high into the zone. Starrett catches it. Sweeney forces him to hold on to it. Ruiz and Conrad will go at it again. Conrad back to his D. They'll throw it up, far side. Forward's got it, gives it to Conrad through the center ice. He'll work it in deep. Curls, goes D to D. D back to Conrad, shot on net, blocked by Schilling. Conrad at the top of the slot. Shot, tipped wide. No control there. Force, shot, tipped wide again. DeYoung forces it down low. You go in the corner for White. White's battled there. Trying to muck it. Squirts loose. Quad City fired up to the D. Go D to D. All the way around to DeYoung. Schilling's there and fires it into the bench. Minute left on this power play. Saints will send Baker out for the faceoff. Conrad wins it back to the D. They'll go D to D. Looks to dump it deep. No one's there. Forces it down now. Below the net. White will battle it. Come up with the loose puck. Send it the length of the ice. Sturridge stops it there. Plays it off to his defenseman. Betty Meyer will give a little chase. Force the issue. Pushed wide and lost control. Comes into the Dubuque zone and they'll fire it down again. Quad Cities plays it up to Conrad. Conrad walks through center ice, takes it on the far side. Walks down the middle, leaves it there for Baker. He's not on his team. Baker plays it down the ice. Starrett controls it, plays it behind the net. Played up the middle. Baker stole it momentarily, but Meyer was still offside. Played down, Quinn's got it. He'll walk down the far side. Walk in front of the nets. Tried to hit a man on the backside, couldn't quite handle it. Quinn's got it there, battles for it on the near side, walks it out in front. Shot scored. Walked it right behind the net and gave it to Conrad in front, who buried it just below the pipe.
City goal scored with 14:06.
Dump down deep. Kirkenbush will give chase there.
Scored by number 97, Isaiah Conrad. Assisted on the play by number 19.
Severting back to Schilling. Schilling across. Up the near boards. Meserich is there. They'll battle in front of the nets. Decker's got it. He'll walk out to center ice. Play it ahead. Knock down deep to Leverton will play it there. Sebring turns and carries the puck out. Walks to center ice. Carries it into the zone. Shot on net. Saved by Sterrett. Sammy Ruiz will step in for the faceoff. He's flanked by White and Sweeney. Quad City will get their player kicked out. Quad City wins the faceoff. Back to the D. D plays it hard off the near boards. For an ice. So we'll get to do it again, and the Quad Cities will get their good forward back. Face off one back. Tried to get it to Besson, who loses the handle on it. Squirts just off to the center ice. Dubuque will dump it down deep. Sarah will cover it for some reason. And we'll get a new face off. Puck's down. Ruiz pushes it forward. Behind the net, tries to set up White. Sarah with a nice save. And he'll cover. Noonan will come in and take the faceoff for the Saints. Quad City wins. They'll force it up the near boards. Quinn dumps it down. It's gloved by Sukuchov. Noonan centers it. No one's home. O'Donnell carries it into the zone. Dumps it down behind the net. Near side battled in the corner there. Puck squirts loose. It's Bo Baker. Oh, Baker took a spill there. Quad City's going the other way. It's Quack. O'Donnell turns in the corner, tries to get it up. Noonan wasn't quite ready. Bo Baker's there. He'll chip it out to center ice. Benny Meyer will give a little pressure. Played around the back. Just out of the reach of Peters. Shot wide of the net. Noonan out in front. Schilling shots. Deflected just wide. Schilling again shoots. Stopped in front of the net. Played out. No, held in by Cam O'Donnell. Quad City will walk around him. O'Donnell gives chase. All the way down to the corner. Behind the net. Played around. That's going to go the length for an icing call. .11:42 left in the third period. All tied up at shots and goals. Tyler White steps in. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's Carter Kirkenbush. Steps in for the faceoff. They'll win it over to Besson. Besson to Cruiser. Cruiser to Meserich. Clears the zone. Kirkenbush now through the middle. Battle on the far side. Puck comes loose. Shift out to the neutral zone. Cruiser's there. Forced into the defensive zone. Sieverding will carry it out to center ice, get a shot wide of the net. Mesrich is over there. He'll play it down to Kirk. Out to Beshin. Beshin down low to Mesrich. Cal will shoot it over to Carter. Carter walks it behind the net. Fires on net. Scarrett with the save to the far side. Beshin over there to collect. Dumps it down low to Cal. Cal battles for it. Tries to center it. Stuck in the defender's skate. They'll carry it out. Big hit there in front of the net on Blake Sieverding. Puck will go down below Quad City goal line. It'll be collected there. They'll attempt to break it out. Sweeney will apply pressure to the left to Sterrett. Force them out to the right side. Played out of the zone. It's just a disaster waiting to happen for too many men in front of the bench there. Sweeney carries it wide. Dumps it down low. White will apply pressure. Just misses the puck. Quad City working it up. They'll get it up. Nice into the zone. Shot. High and wide. Press down low. Just held in. Momentarily. Sweeney's got it now. He'll play it up the middle. White's coming in. Got a bad angle. Cut off just before he got the shot off. Battled in the corner. Tries to center it to Ruiz. Unlucky there. Played up the boards. That's Sukichov over to Schilling. Schilling up to Baker. Baker to Meyer. And we'll go deep into the zone. Meyer runs into him behind the net. Knocks the puck loose. Quad Cities will try and play it high off the boards. Instead, it goes into the stands. Noonan steps in for the faceoff. Quad Cities wins it back. That's Peters. He'll play it off the boards. Quad Cities carries it through neutral zone. They'll kick it into the corner. Give chase. Sagers back there. Plays it off to Meyer. Meyer up to Noonan. Noonan over to Baker. Baker tries to pass it. Comes off his stick. Noonan knocks it back to him. Schilling's got it on the far side. Blocked. Noonan over to Stagers. Stagers tries to get it on net. Deflected in front. Peters over to Quinn. Quinn dumps it down in on Leverton. He makes the save. Kicks it to the corner. Quad Cities gets a shot just wide of the net. Degree kicks it out to the point. That's Peters. Gets it on net. Just wide of the net. Noonan walking it through the middle. Dumps it down, goes for the change. Peters is going to collect it in the corner. He'll go D to D. Defenseman misses it. That's Kirkenbush over on the far side. Gets hammered into the boards. Puck squirts out in front of the benches. It's dumped down deep. Quad Cities behind the net. They'll fire it out through center ice. Leverton kicks it wide. Held in by Quad Cities. Ooh. Someone was just hammered in front. Sukichov. And we're going to get a penalty on this. Elbowing.
Quad City penalty coming with 7:45 remaining in the third period of number 60, Patrick Gannon, 2 minutes for an elbow.
So Gannon will go off for a vicious elbow in front of the Dubuque bench on Sukichov. Sukichov's being informed that he's in Dubuque on a Saturday. And he's got younger sisters. That's probably the most disappointing news for him. Face off one back to the Dubuque defense. Tried to play out, stolen there. Worked on the far side. Down low into the corner. Noonan will get it back to White. White will set it up behind the net. Carries it out. Plays it up to Kirkenbush. Kirkenbush can only get a piece of it. Goes the length. Kirkenbush forces it further behind the net. And they'll get wrapped on the boards and get a bad kick. White can't control it. It'll go the length. Leverton's there. Plays it behind the net to White. White met with some resistance there. Quad Cities takes it in front. Shot. Still battling. Leverton's all over the place. A little sword fighting going on in front of the net there that went uncalled. Up to Baker. Baker down to Sieverding. Back to Baker. Big shot on Baker in the corner. Back to White at center ice. He'll regroup. Fire it up to Baker. Puck stolen. May have wakened the Giant there with Baker a little bit. He threw a little muscle. Conrad knocks it back to the corner. Over Benny Meyer will collect. Conrad gives chase. Meyer knocks it loose. Quad Cities will dump it back in. Leverton gets it stuck in his pads a little bit. He gives it back to Schilling. Schilling will carry it up the middle. He'll look to have it carried into the neutral zone, or into the attacking zone now. Conrad steals it, sends it to length. Leverton's there. He'll play it behind the net to Schilling. Schilling to Mazurich just off a stick, but Sieverding will outrun the icing call. Quad City's penalty is killed off. They'll play it behind the net. Ruiz will give chase there. Walked around. Long pass. Saying O'Donnell could have played it. Seems like a stretch. O'Donnell's got it now. He'll throw it the length of the ice. And he'll get the icing. So just a little over 5 minutes left in this third period. Tie game still. Kind of been a back and forth game. Quad Cities really dominated the game yesterday, but D'Angelo Ferrari, I believe, had at least 3, if not 4 of the goals, and I don't see him in the lineup today. So Quad Cities is manufacturing some offense. Shot knocked wide by Leverton. Knocked down in the corner. Quad Cities got there. They'll try and kick it in front. Not quite. Recovered. White's going to get a... We'll see what White gets here. Looks like he's going to have some company in the Quad Cities penalty bench. White's going to get a rough. Saints will control on the half wall there. Quad City's got it. They'll get it out to Conrad. Conrad will get a shot. It's blocked in front. Fired down low into the corner. Quad City controls. They'll get it out to the blue line. Over D to D. Tried to get it down in the middle. Stopped there by Baker. Baker and Sukuchov will battle it down. They'll kick it out to center ice. Quad Cities will give chase. Kirkenbush is going to press the issue. Controlled behind the net. That's Conrad. He'll carry it down the ice. Walks around everyone. Down to center ice. Back to Conrad. He'll try and get to the boards. Kirkenbush is there. He'll steal and kick it down the ice to start. Quad Cities will carry it up. Long pass. Mishandled there. Schilling's got it. He's got a little time. He'll fire it wide in the length of the ice. Peters will go back to collect it. Myers will force him to kick it to the other corner. Controlled at center ice by Quad Cities. They'll dump it down deep. Not do a very good job chasing it. So Camel Down gets to walk out with it. And a trip coming in for the Quad Cities. Camel Down still going. So we'll play a little 4-on-4 hockey for 20 seconds. And then the Saints will have a power play here for almost the remainder of the game. Minute left to go. Kind of expect a timeout from Dubuque here. Looks like they'll just try and figure it out on the fly. So Noonan and Sweeney will be our two forwards. Quad City wins the faceoff, plays it around the back of the net. Up the middle. They'll carry it through the neutral zone, take it wide. Turn back to the D. Center to Jacob Noonan. He plays for the Saints. He'll carry it wide. He'll leave it for Sweeney. Sweeney takes it out of the zone. Gives it over. White jumps out of the box and helps. Saved by Leverton, knocked high. Face-off coming to the left of Leverton here. 2 minutes and 49 seconds left in the game. 1:32 left on the power play. Kirkenbush wins the face-off past Conrad. Back to his D. White's got it behind the net. He'll give a long cross-ice pass to Kirkenbush, who can't collect it. It'll go the length for icing. Kirkenbush fights through. Quinn's got the face-off. Tries to get it to the back of the net. Battled there. A little slew foot action on White. Not happy. Leverton kicks it into the referee. He's not happy. Battled for in front by Quad Cities. They'll try and dump it in. Hits Sieverding. Sieverding will carry it to neutral zone. Into the attacking zone. Curves. He's got a path to the net. Shot wide. Collected on the near side. Sweeney gives it to Sieverding. Sieverding out to White. White can't hold it. It'll go the length. Leverton lays the stick down. Tries to control it. Puts it behind the net for White. Who'll carry it out of the zone. Into the neutral zone. He'll take it into the attacking zone. Around the back of the net. Looking for anyone open. Does a nice little circle. Shifts it over to Kirkenbush. Back to White. White over to Baker. Too far in front of him. White said something that you can't say on TV. Puck down low. Sieverding wheels. Tries to get it out to Baker. Baker to Sweeney. Sweeney can't handle it. Bad clearing attempt by Quad Cities, and they'll hold it in. Kirkenbush behind the net. He'll leave it for Sweeney. Sweeney carries it around. Over to Baker. Baker walks it towards the net. Tries to get it in front. It's off-stairs stick, and it goes the length. Foot race there. Leverton will come out and play it. Long pass. I think he tried to get to too many men. Didn't quite get it, and it's collected on the goal line. Long pass. That's an ice. For some reason not called. Quad Cities forces it below the goal line. Tried to be rubbed off there. Schilling's got it now. He'll carry it out. Pressured. Played up. Center ice. Ruiz will knock it back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell walks through the middle. Quad Cities with the steal here. They'll leave it for Peters. O'Donnell plays it up the board to Ruiz. Ruiz has it stolen. Kicked over to Meyer. Meyer carries it in front of the benches. Gets rubbed into the Quad City bench. Quad City plays the puck up. 7 seconds left in the game. They'll kick it back. Myers leaves it for Sweeney. Sweeney's got 4 seconds to do something. Carries it wide. Shot saved by Sterrett. So after regulation, we've got a 2-2 game. Shots are 28-25 in favor of the Blues. Give a little free hockey today. Paid for 3 periods, but we're going to play a little more just for fun. I believe overtime rules in the Midwest Hockey League are 4-on-4. 4 or 5 minutes. Followed by a 5-man shootout, I believe. It could be 3. Hopefully it doesn't get to that. Saints are discussing their strategy. My guess is it involves scoring. See Colton Stoll stretching out on the end of the bench there, maybe, or pulling a Mighty Ducks 2, and we're going to send Julie the Cat Gaffney in case it gets to a shootout. Sebastian whacks him in the head just to ensure that doesn't happen. This is supposed to be a minute intermission. Apparently we're using European timing. Leverton will head back to his net. Goaltenders will stay in the nets that they're in, so it's a short change. Saints will send out Kirkenbush, Schilling, Sweeney, and White. Quad City will counter with Conrad, Quinn, DeYoung, and Newhouse. Sterrett will stay in net. Face off down, back to the Quad Cities defensive zone. They'll go D to D again. Played across the ice, over to Conrad. Conrad will take the zone. Fire on net, blocked by White. White's going to go the other way. We got a 3-on-2 going here. White carries it off to Sweeney, back to White. White fires, blocked in front. Took the body there. White chips it off to Kirkenbush. Stolen. Quad Cities will look to clear. They don't quite get it out. Schilling holds it in there. Kirkenbush fires over the net. Schilling tries to collect. He does. Gets it back to White. White makes a long pass to Kirkenbush. Kirkenbush might get an Academy Award for that fall. Won't get a tripping call. Cross ice pass. Quad Cities will just dump it in. Conrad will give a little chase. White will play it up to Sweeney, over to Kirk. Kirk over to Schilling. Schilling will take it in the zone. Works it down to the corner. Throws it towards the net. Short little save there for Sterrett. Leaves it for Sukachov's in. Quad City will carry it out. Work through center ice. Bad pass. It's a foot race, and I'm taking Kirk all day, but he's 2-on-1. He'll have to just dump it across the ice. He's been up for the long shift. He'll try and make his way back to the bench, Bo Baker will jump on in his place. Sukachov plays it back. I'm sorry, that's Ruiz playing it back to Sukachov. Ruiz up to Baker. Baker will take the center ice. Gets it in the zone around Peters. Turns in the corner. Tries to fire it back out to the point. Stolen there. Ruiz back on D now. He'll play it across to Noonan. Noonan back to Ruiz. Ruiz up to Baker. Couldn't get a handle on it. It's controlled there by Quad Cities. They'll carry it up. Peters walks across the blue line. Walks down right down Main Street. He's knocked down there. Down into the corner. Sukachov will go try and dig it out. Play it around the back. Quad City wins the race. Noonan's there to hold it up. Quad City's still battling for it in the corner. It's knocked loose. Played around the back of the net. Horrible wraparound attempt that had absolutely no chance of going in. And it doesn't. Quad City's got it. They'll fire it wide of the net. Wide of the net again. Back to the Quad City defenseman. He'll go D to D. Get it over to Conrad. He'll go to the D. Circle around, long pass up. Chip just inside of the blue line. Schilling will knock it deep below the goal line. Goes around the back of the net. Schilling's still there. Gives pressure and is walked off. Pass to the far side. Conrad again. Dumps it deep. White bobbles a pass in front behind the net. It's knocked loose. Still held in. White's got it now. He'll carry it in front of the benches. Takes it wide. Down below the goal line. Peters is there. He'll take it away from him. Plays it up to Conrad. Conrad kicks it off the boards. Quinn will battle Schilling there. Gets it out of the zone. Meyer leaves it for someone. Gets its way over to White. White throws it through the middle. Quinn steals it. Got a little 2-on-2 here. Schilling gets just a piece of it to knock it loose. Quad City forced back into the defensive zone. They'll play it up to Conrad. Conrad through the middle. White will step in and steal it. He'll press the issue. Takes the puck wide. Fires it on Starrett. Save there.
30 seconds remaining.
Wrapped around. Schilling can't quite get to it. It's going to be an ice. It's not going to be an ice. It doesn't make it. Schilling gets the effort. Gets back to get it. Plays it up. No ice there. Kirkenbush got just a piece of it. Played behind the net. Long stretch pass knocked down by Sweeney. Quad Cities will carry it into the zone. And that's the end of regulation overtime. So now we'll have a shootout. Looks like DeYoung will step up for the Quad Cities. The Saints opting to leave Leverton in the net. Stoll was all stretched out too. He was ready to go. Chase DeYoung will start for the Quad Cities. That was a silky move by DeYoung. Dubuque will send out Tyler White. Sporting his new bubble look. White evens the score. Gets a nice walk across from Sterrett.
Next to Quad Cities, number 97, Isaiah Conrad.
Conrad, who's looked good all game. We'll take the second shot for the Quad Cities. Lots of stick handling. We don't get points for stick handling here. Saints will turn to Cody Sweeney. Sweeney had a hat trick in the JV game. Manages to put a top shelf on Sterrett.
Number 19 for Quad Cities, Liam Quinn.
Liam Quinn will be the Quad Cities' third shooter. Just 3 minutes to 5. Quinn doesn't get a shot on net. And that's the game.
Great job by both teams this weekend. Thank the Quad Cities for coming out. Travel safe home. The new Fighting Saints would like me to remind you that there is a Fighting Saints game tonight. So please, we do need people to exit the arena quickly and make room in the parking lot as it is a paid parking for the Saints.
And that's the end of the broadcast. Final score, Saints 4, Quad City 3.